Let's roll with a little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. We got to start with some beats on Saturday. Woo! In college football. Arizona State. This was fun for me, not. They're -6. They're down 14-0 early at Washington. Never sniffed a cover. And then they pretty much dominate the rest of the game. Finally get the TD to take the lead and cover the spread, or take the lead with a minute left. And then they get the miracle pick six. They're going to win by 11. Oops. They get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. They get a personal foul penalty. And all of a sudden, 30 seconds for a Washington offense that hasn't moved the football in 3/4 is an eternity. 9 seconds left. Washington down 2 scores. They go for the touchdown instead of the field goal. They score it. They lose by only 5. That was a bad beat both ways. A bad beat if you had Washington initially when Arizona State got the money, and then the other way around. When you get that bad beat cover, you're supposed to actually cover it. Didn't happen in this instance. That was a crazy ending there. How about Auburn? If you had Auburn in your pocket, they're up 28-3 at home against Mississippi State. And they spend the rest of the game getting blown out as 5-point chalk. Auburn, no good. Certainly that was a tough beat if you had them. Kentucky, -21.5. They're up 31-3 at halftime against Vandy. And then they fell asleep, only got a field goal in the second half. But it's not going to matter because Vandy can't score anyway until they did. 1 touchdown late. 34-17 final. No cover for Kentucky. Tough beat for Wildcats backers. In the NFL, I mean, in terms of brutal beats, there wasn't that much yesterday. The Saints' money line bettors was brutal. 2 missed extra points from their 4th kicker this year, then the missed 2-point conversion at the end of the game. They still covered. They outgained Tennessee by more than 100 yards in a game they lost straight up, but that's not really a brutal beat. Saints' money line, it happens. Bad bets. Well, let's see. Texas got bet up on Saturday, -29 up to -31 against Kansas. That was wrong. How about the New Mexico State money? +51.5 down to +50 against Alabama. When you're a 50-point dog, you only want the favorite. 59-3, the final on that one. Bama covers first half and full game. Wise guy money for the big dogs, Purdue and Tennessee. Big favorites, Ohio State and Georgia. Both cover. Bad bets in the NFL. Well, the wise guy money came for the Falcons. Didn't matter how much or what line, 9.5, 7.5, 12.5. Could have been 39.5. Doesn't matter. They lost 43-3. The over gets bet up from 52 up to 55.5. And again, the Falcons scored 3. Dallas got the 43. Did not cash any over bets. That was bad. Joe's all over the Bucs. They never led as 9.5-point chalks against Washington. That was a bad bet. And of course, if you watch WagerTalk Today on Friday and listen to Big Game Breakdown, you bet Carolina, Arizona under 44. Closed 41. Lands 44. Matters a lot where you got that number. All the money at 43.5 and under with bad bets for Carolina and Arizona under. Bad for the books. Well, there was a legit middle in Minnesota, Iowa. The Hawkeyes were -7 at the open. They were -4 at the close. They couldn't punch in a touchdown late, so they settled for 3 and won by 5. Books paid out both sides of Minnesota, Iowa. Notre Dame money poured in before kickoff. No Armstrong from Virginia, and it mattered. Notre Dame -5 to -9.5. The books had to pay all that out. Michigan money picked to -2.5. The Wolverines blew the lead and then rallied back on the road. They ended up winning by 4. Books had to pay that out. And the Saturday night wise guy special, Air Force, -2.5 to -4. At Colorado State, they won by 2 touchdowns. Bad for the books in the NFL. Look, the Lions Steelers were not just ugly to watch. It was also ugly for books, too. Pittsburgh was as high as -10 at the open. After Big Ben ruled out, they closed -5.5, -6. Lions bettors got paid. And the total, 44 down to 40.5. Under bettors got paid as well. 2 big line moves to the line and total. The books had to pay out all of that money. Wise guys were all over Carolina at Arizona, all over Philly at Denver, too. They were both right sides. So books catering to sharp bettors lost big on the Panthers and the Eagles. And the Chiefs winning cover wasn't real bad for the house last night. There was plenty of Raiders money, but the over got bet up 51.5 up to 53.5, 54. It's suddenly KC, an offensive juggernaut again. Books paid all of that, paid out all of those over bets last night. That too, not great for the house. So there you have it, Prez. Some bad beats, some bad bets, and some bad for the books.